So thank you very much for having me. I don't know that I have a grand idea, but I have a variation on a theme that we've heard throughout the last day and a half, and really on the theme that Christy just brought up. As an organization, I think most of you know we're volunteers. We help small businesses start and grow. Last year we helped to create about 71,000 new jobs and 58,000 new businesses. We do that at a very reduced cost compared to a lot of stimulus programs you hear, and it only works because we've got these great volunteers. We see close to 500,000 potential entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs each year. And they come to us for a variety of things, but they come to us primarily because they lack knowledge. And as we've talked about over the last day and a half, the different types of education that's available, what's available K through 12, what's available for non-traditional learners, what's available in colleges and universities, and what's online and so on. And everybody's doing something, and everybody's doing a little something different. And it would seem that we might be able to get together and create a core curriculum. And maybe it's not even a curriculum. Maybe it's a set of educational ideas. Dr. Ed Davis from DECA yesterday mentioned how so many states had gotten together and thought through what are the core learnings that students need to have in these particular areas, and they're building curriculum around that. We probably should do the same thing for entrepreneurs. And it needs to be available more broadly than just if you come to SCORE or SBDC or NACE or wherever, and it should be consistent. And the result should be a merit badge. And I don't know if you call it a certification, but something that demonstrates completion. And the value of that merit badge is in what it represents, the learnings that you've gathered, but then we should go to companies that are in this room, companies that are sponsors, companies that we all partner with, and get them to recognize that in some sort of fashion that benefits the entrepreneur economically. So if you have been through a program, a curriculum, that hits these 6 or 7 key elements that every starting entrepreneur needs to know, you get your merit badge, and when you go to Sage Software, they say, you know, you've been trained. You have demonstrated a willingness and an interest, and we're going to give you X, provide you with this. Same way with financial institutions or anybody else that supports the entrepreneurial ecosystem. It doesn't seem that difficult, although I'm certain that it's very, very hard. And I'm sure that we all have different ideas on what those key elements are, how many there should be, how rigorous should be the process. But somewhere in there, there's some simple things. And you know, I'm not sure that you take a test. You get exposed to information. Not only do I have the pleasure of being trained by Boy Scouts of America, but I'm a certified Little League football coach. I got certified in 9 hours. Online. It was terrific. We were undefeated a couple of years ago. We didn't have a point scored on us. I don't need to know how to run a defense. I'm good at that, if they're 11 and 12. The Redskins aren't looking for me right now. But I did learn a lot of things that I didn't know. I learned about how to identify heat exhaustion in a child. I learned about concussions. I learned about how to avoid helmet-to-helmet contact at that level so you don't have the kinds of problems that we're seeing with this particular sport. The point being that these entrepreneurs have lots of knowledge and lots of ability, but they're missing some things. And we can provide an opportunity to fill in those gaps, which allows them to be more successful. And I couldn't agree more about the need for a mentor. That's obviously what we do. Survivability is critical for these folks, and I think by doing this and following these clients, we could demonstrate that they are more likely to succeed and, quite honestly, more likely to survive the first 6 quarters, which I think is the most difficult time for any business, than if they don't go through this. And if we all offered it in some fashion, and if we all supported it in some fashion, it would become the standard by which small entrepreneurs are judged, and it would be valuable. So, not sure it's a brilliant, big idea. a variation on what's happening here that will require challenging collaboration. We'll have to do it outside of Washington because collaboration doesn't exist here. I think you're seeing that. But not difficult to do. And again, I think that a lot of companies would recognize it, and I think it would add great value and allow us to create these businesses that are so critical, create these jobs that we need so desperately, and get this country back on the road to economic success.